In the aftermath of the 2024 election, America is even more divided than before. Half the country fears the end of democracy, and the other half welcomes it. As America inches toward the brink of authoritarian rule, now more than ever, we must force ourselves to have the necessary conversation. Welcome to the Necessary Conversation. I'm Chad Colchin. With me is my sister, recently returned from a birthday trip. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
you.
to you.
And my mom and dad are also here, Bob and Mary Lou. My parents are, of course, deep MAGA supporters drinking from Trump's cup. My sister and I, not so much. And we try to repair the division in our family by talking about politics. Will it work? Has it worked? What do you guys think?
In regard
Yes.
to
Hello?
in regard to what?
Yes, we talk.
Nothing.
We
All right.
talk to each other. So yeah.
I always ask a question at the beginning and I just get 3 fucking blank stares, just deer in headlights. Okay.
It's been a
Mom,
long
do you have
day.
any ditties to start the show?
Yes, I always have ditties. You don't even have to ask that.
All right, let's hear them.
Number 1, today is Palm Sunday. Happy Palm Sunday, April the 13th. It's the Sunday before Easter. Chad and Haley,
Cool.
since you don't think we believe in God and we're Christians, you tell me, what is Palm Sunday?
How does us telling you what it is prove or disprove your
Do you
Christian
even know what it is?
views?
I do.
Tell us. She's
It
gonna
has something to
say-
do. No, I got to pull it out of the vault. It has something to do with like 3 kings and palm leaves, right?
No.
Let your father
Yes.
tell you.
It has
No.
to do with palm
Not
leaves.
3
There's no-
kings.
there's 3 kings.
Jesus Christ, that's 3 kings of Orient are. Go ahead, Tom.
Palm Sunday is when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey, and the people of the city lined the streets with palms.
And they lined it as the donkey
And-
rode through.
The Catholic Church, you took that into a deal where on Palm Sunday you braid palms and
You
put
get
them
a
in your
palm.
house. You get them blessed at church,
And you get one. to
and
take
you get
home.
one and you take it home and put it in your house.
So 1 week
Cool.
to Easter starts today because today's Palm
All right.
Sunday.
I just want to say,
Praise his holy name.
growing up, you never did any of that shit. We dyed Easter
Oh,
eggs and you
correct.
put money in them, and we ate
Oh,
chocolate
my
bunnies.
God.
All pagan holiday.
I braided palms.
From the day he was probably 3 years old.
We never did growing
All
up.
Well, I
Which
never
means,
taught you how.
Wonder, okay,
No,
how do we
you guys left. At some point, you stopped going to church, and that's when we all stopped being religious.
Did you not remember Saturdays, Sundays at church? We get donuts and orange juice. We lived at
And then it
Mar-a-Lago.
ended. And then
Huh?
at some point, it
Yeah.
ended.
Yeah, because as you and
When
Chad
we moved
got
to
older,
Carrollton, we stopped
you wouldn't
going.
go with us. Okay. Number
Correct.
2, tomorrow morning. This is pretty fun. Tomorrow morning, 9:00, I think, Eastern. Gail King, the co-host of CBS Morning Show, Lauren Sanchez. Have y'all heard about this, Chad?
Yes.
Nope.
This is pretty cool. And Katy Perry and 2 scientists and 1 filmmaker will blast off into space from Bezos, isn't that the way you say his name? West Texas Ranch. His launch pad will be there. Those ladies are going up and down space, 62 miles. It'll be an 11-minute
Not outer
flight.
space.
They'll be about 3 minutes weightless. It's from that company, his company, Blue Origins. And
Mhm.
and then they will,
Mm.
I was like, how did they come back down? Apparently, I don't know if that spaceship like flips back around. No, but they use parachutes, and as it comes back down into the atmosphere, it slows all the way down to 1 mile an hour. And they will land very
Okay.
close to where they took off. That's
Interesting.
cool, right? I'd be
Yeah.
scared out of my
I'm
living
envious.
mind.
I wish I could go to the space.
Oh, and they said, when it first came out, there were like 3 different companies that did this. It was like millions of dollars. Now you can go for between $200,000 and $300,000.
You should do it.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, I didn't get to do this last week because of my rap. Val Kilmer, R.I.P. I think he was one of the greatest
Yep.
actors ever, and he never won an Academy Award or anything.
It's because he wasn't one of the greatest actors ever.
Yes, he was. Top Gun.
Beloved, but Heat.
He was
How about
very
Batman?
He was
How about
very
Batman?
good. Doors, Top Gun,
Gunsmoke.
Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
I'll be your
Yep.
Huckleberry.
I
I'll
got
be
2
your
guns,
The
Huckleberry.
one
Saint.
for each of you.
So sympathy to his family. I liked
Okay.
him a lot. I wished
Sure.
he would have
Me too.
won it.
What did he die from?
He died from pneumonia, but he also had some type of a cancer.
He had throat cancer, I think.
Yeah, some type of a cancer.
All right.
There is
on a side note, the proof that Ukraine started the war is getting more and more evident daily.
Okay, that's not real.
Well, I have a clip that I'm going to play for you about that very subject. Mom, do you have more ditties here?
One last one, then I'm done.
Please.
There's
Thank
this guy named Victor Davis Hanson. Have you heard of him, Chad?
Okay.
I saw
He's an old historian.
Whose ditty is this? I saw.
Well, he never heard of him, so I'm telling you.
I saw a podcaster interview him. I could listen to this guy's voice for the next 500 years. It's very soothing. He tells you so much about politics and history that is true, not fake news. He is more probably sided to the way Dad and I are, but yet he goes the other way too. I loved his clip on failure to secure the border and what went wrong there. So if you haven't, get on YouTube, look that guy up, and I would love to have him on our show. He lives in California. Chad?
Hit him up. Email him. See if you can get him.
Email him? Okay.
You can be the booker for this show. I've been trying to get people to come on this show for a year. It ain't working. If you know something, if you can do it better than I can, please do it.
Do I get a bigger
obviously, we can do worse.
That's correct. All right. So is that it?
Get a bigger
7 minutes of ditties? We good? What's that?
Do I get a bigger percentage of the show if I book him?
No.
Okay.
All right. Let's move on. I want to start this show today with we're going to do a question first. We start with a question, a listener question. I'm going to keep that order, but then I'm going to play a clip. I'm going to try a new little thing before we get into the main topics. So this question is a question sent to us by someone who listens to this show. If you want to send in a question, just record it in a 1 minute or shorter audio or video format. Email it to the necessaryconversationpod@gmail.com. Are you all ready?
Now, tell me it's not a 20-year-old girl from California.
Okay.
Hi, Culture and Family. My name is Dave. I'm from Boston, and I just had a quick question. I know you guys at the end of the last episode wanted to maybe talk about something other than politics, so I was just curious. This is a question for Bob. Does Bob believe in evolution? Thanks.
Wow, what a nice question.
Well, Dad?
What?
Do you believe in evolution?
Yes.
All right, a simple answer. There you go.
Why do you believe in evolution?
Thanks for the question.
I believe that people have evolved from apes.
Okay.
Some slower than others.
And that's why his nickname.
Got it.
So wait, are you Christian? Are you Christian or not?
It doesn't matter.
His name's Monkey.
You can be Christian and still believe in evolution.
That's correct. Thanks for straightening her out on that.
That was a nice question.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It was a shorter answer than I anticipated. I'm glad that I have this next clip. Yes. Now, I want to try this new thing that I'm tentatively calling Defending Trump. I want to play a clip of Donald Trump speaking, and then I want to throw it to you and Dad to see if you can defend this. All right? Are you ready? Hello?
Yes. I might have to get Kitty, but yes.
Okay. All right. This clip comes to us from CPAC, March 4th, 2023. All right? Here we go.
Prevent, and very easily, World War III, very easily. Before I even arrive at the Oval Office, I will have the disastrous war between Russia and Ukraine settled. It will be settled quickly. I will get the problem solved, and I will get it solved in rapid order, and it will take me no longer than one day. I know exactly what to say to each of them. I got along very well with them.
All right. So there's our clip. That's Trump saying he's going to resolve the Ukraine-Russia war in one day. It will be solved very quickly one day. Just to let you know, Trump has been in office for 106 days.
You know why he didn't get it done in a day?
Why?
Why is that?
Because Zelensky doesn't want it to end.
It's his fault.
He started
Okay.
it. He's building him a nice resort next to Poland,
Okay.
getting it away from the
Doesn't
front
matter.
lines.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, listen.
Doesn't matter.
Listen.
Oh, it does.
Wait,
No.
you're correct. Trump did not do that in one day. But why don't you play the clip where Trump has secured our border in 100 and some days?
No.
Why don't you play that clip?
No, because he ran on
He
this.
also ran
saying,
on securing our
hang
border.
on.
He ran on about.
You
he
can't,
ran
Mom.
about
Hang
40
on.
things.
Hang on.
He ran
Hang on.
40 different
Mom,
things. He's
hang
40 of them.
on.
Okay. What?
Mom, what you're doing is called deflecting.
I know. You always tell me
I'm
that.
showing you this
Deflecting.
clip.
No,
This
here's
clip.
what I'm doing.
No, wait a minute, Mom. Let me say this.
Okay.
Let's-
Trump failed.
Jesus Christ.
Failed to end
Let
the
me
war
say this.
because Zelensky
Let me say
wants
this.
more money out of everybody.
Okay.
It's unreal.
United States is saying no more money from us, and he thought that would end the war. But Zelensky went crying to the Europeans, and they're paying him more money.
Doesn't matter.
Zip it. No.
None of that matters.
Okay.
Donald Trump said, I will end this war in one day. He did not do
it.
that. How do you
We
reconcile
are
it?
agreeing.
Mom, you reconcile it. Hang
I'm agreeing
on.
with you.
Mom, hang on. You reconcile it by deflecting to something completely different, an unrelated topic. Why
Chad,
didn't you play a clip about the
Chad,
border?
read my
Dad?
lips.
No, hang on a minute. Just let me say this.
No.
Dad, you then deflect to, well, it's not his fault. It's Zelensky's fault. Neither of you can answer the question. The question is, do you think Donald Trump lied about being able to do this in a day? But he clearly didn't do it in a day. It's been 106
He
days.
could have done it in 30 seconds.
He did not do it.
And yet
I
he
am
didn't.
He
agreeing.
didn't lie. He did not lie. He did not believe Zelensky would sell out the country for money, but he did.
Okay, Dad, I'll say, I don't believe that that's true, but let's say it is. Let's say you're right. Shouldn't Trump have been smart enough to figure out that's what was going to happen with all of his businessman acumen?
Because he actually thought Zelensky cared about his country.
I wouldn't call.
But he doesn't.
He's literally fighting for his country.
No, he's not.
Literally.
He
Yes,
literally,
he is.
he literally is not fighting for his country.
They show him amongst soldiers, like on the battlefield.
Nice photo op.
All right, let's move on. I thought that might go about the way it did. Okay, are you ready?
You didn't let me speak.
Sorry.
I did say, yes,
Okay,
he
go
did
ahead.
not do that. I do agree with you on that in
Yeah.
one day.
Mhm.
But is that a lie, really?
No.
I don't know.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
He ran on that promise. He did not deliver on that promise. That's a lie.
I'm saying he didn't do it.
Hey, first of all, it wasn't a promise. It was a prediction.
But what I'm saying is,
You can't lie about a prediction if it didn't come true.
Chad,
So you can just
Okay,
run a whole
sure.
campaign on predictions?
Everybody else
that are all false?
But-
Well, then he's bad at predicting, which
No,
means he's stupid.
He made about 45 predictions, and about 42 of them came true.
I still haven't got my
All right.
chance to say this.
So I would say
Why?
overall he was correct.
Why do you always
Okay,
pick
Mom, what do you
the
want to say?
one thing that you know he didn't do, and
We
you
could
push
probably pick
that-
1,000
and
things.
you push that in our face. Why don't you bring back?
No,
the
I'm going to do this
good
every
that he
week.
did,
I'm going to find
like
a
on the
clip every
border,
week.
Where in 1 month
Uh-huh.
Biden let 300,000 people over the border, probably in a month. Trump, he has pushed it all the way down now to maybe 4,000, 1,000, and now
The
that border is
exercise-
being controlled by our military. Thank God.
Okay.
This exercise is to try to get you to understand that Trump is not infallible, that he is a fucking liar, and you can admit that.
No, he doesn't lie.
But I just played you a clip where he said he would end the war in a day, and he's been in
That's
office
right.
for
That was a
106
prediction.
days, and the war is
Yeah,
still
but
going.
You can
There's a
change
difference.
your mind.
That's not a lie.
I do believe what
Okay.
he meant is he would
Let's
do
move
that
on.
in one day if all the the people.
No,
Yeah.
He did.
he,
No, what
he
he-
literally said,
you saw the
I'll
clip.
end it in one day. I know exactly what to say to both of them.
He said very easily, I'll end it very quickly and very
And he didn't
easily.
do it. You're right. I do agree with
Liar.
you. He
Correct.
didn't do it in one
Fucking
day.
liar.
So
But
he either
also,
overtly
Zelensky
lied
said
or
he
he's
signed
a
the
failure.
minerals deal, and he's backed out of that. So, with people not doing
That
what
doesn't
they said they
matter.
would do.
It doesn't matter what anyone else in the scenario has
Okay.
done. Trump said, I will
Okay.
end the war.
Enough.
Now you're the one saying enough.
Jeez. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hand it. Okay, the next topic, our first topic, is the tariff nightmare continues. For a second week in a row, Trump's flip-flopping on the proposed tariffs created mass hysteria in the stock market. This week saw tariffs on Chinese goods escalate to an effective rate of 104%, prompting China to retaliate with tariffs of up to 125% on U.S. products. The NASDAQ and the S&P 500 fell over 10% each, prompting Trump to immediately put a 90-day pause on the higher tariffs for most countries, excluding China, and announce exemptions for specific products like smartphones, laptops, and semiconductors, all products crucial to the businesses of his tech CEO billionaire supporters. The pause caused the S&P 500 to course correct, gaining 9.5% by the end of the day. Hours before announcing the tariff pause, Trump posted to Truth Social, "This is a great time to buy." The timing of this post preceding a significant market rally led to accusations of potential market manipulation and insider trading. Regulatory bodies are reportedly examining the timing of Trump's social media activity in relation to market movements. Mom, is Donald Trump purposely manipulating the stock
No,
market?
he is not. He's trying to make
Yes.
America stronger and better through making tariffs more fair for everyone, including us.
You mean just
Okay.
billionaires?
No, everyone.
But Dad, do you think he's manipulating the stock market?
No.
Okay, then let me ask you this. Do you think him tweeting, "Now is a good time to buy," a few hours before he reversed
He's not
all the
manipulating
tariffs,
the
put
stock market.
90-day
You know
ban
what
on?
manipulation of the stock market would be? Him going in and buying $10 billion worth of stock, like Nancy Pelosi
When it
did.
dips. Right. Listen, I agree with you, Nancy Pelosi. Everybody in Congress is doing insider trading.
Your congressmen are all crooked. They all have
I
used
agree.
the market. Donald Trump hasn't
Yes.
put a dime into the market or out
Yeah.
trying to manipulate the price.
Do we know that?
We don't
Do
know
we
that.
know that?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yes, we do.
Do you think that all these Congress people, who I agree with you, are all insider trading? Do you think that they're doing it, but the president and his cabinet and all the people close to him are not?
I don't know about his cabinet, but I'll guarantee you Donald Trump is not.
Okay, he definitely
Okay.
is. It
Oh,
is
how do
insider
you know?
trading.
How do
They
you
all
know?
need to be investigated.
How-
He's
well,
fucking Donald Trump. He is
So
a
good.
crooked fucking liar.
Uh,
This
So wait a minute. You
presidency
think when he-
is 100% his new business venture and a cash grab.
Oh my God.
He didn't give a fuck about you.
He
He doesn't
ain't
give a
making
shit
any
about
money.
you or me or anybody else. This is about
he's not
money.
making any money.
He's
Hang on,
making
Well, I
hang
can
on,
tell
hang
you
on.
one thing: he doesn't
Don't
give
yell.
a shit about people like you
Don't yell.
because you're a
Hang
communist.
on one second.
Don't
Donald
bring it up
Trump
today.
tweets. Hang on a minute. Donald Trump
Okay.
tweets or puts on Truth Social this phrase, "Now is a great time to buy." You don't think he was taking his own advice?
No, he can't.
Yes.
So he's just tweeting out, "It's a good time to buy
That's
stock."
right.
I'm not
That's
buying
right.
it, but you
He
should.
doesn't
Right.
get a dime out of it.
Okay.
Okay.
So even in that, even if he didn't get a dime out of it, that's still insider
No,
trading.
it's not.
To publish, yes,
You
it
better
is.
go-
To
you better
publish
Google.
inside,
Google.
to publish
Google.
inside information,
Google.
to publish inside
What's
information.
inside
All right, fuck it.
information? You know what inside
What about
information is, Chad? It's about the companies and the corporations. It's not about who's buying
No.
or selling.
Dad, the inside information is he knew
No,
he was
that
going to put a
isn't-
90-day
it's
pause
not-
on the
no.
tariffs,
You-
which would
you
make the
are-
stock
you
market
are
go back up.
totally fucking wrong.
You are totally
No,
fucking
you're
wrong.
wrong.
Now what do we do? No, you're wrong.
Huh?
If somebody is going to personally do something that will have drastic impact on the stock market, and they then tell people to act on that information, on that action they're about to take, that's not insider trading? Okay. Elon Musk said these tariffs are bad. He disagrees with Trump. Who is right here, Dad?
What? Donald Trump is always right.
Okay, so Elon Musk is on the ouch. You hate him now.
I don't hate him.
Mom, what do you think about Elon Musk? Oh, she's disappeared again.
I still didn't get it.
All right, Elon Musk is going against Trump on these tariffs. He says the tariffs are a bad idea. Do you hate Elon Musk now?
No, he can say that. He doesn't run the country.
Okay.
Donald Trump does.
All right.
I guess.
Have you heard this? Based on these tariffs, Trump is saying, all these countries want to negotiate with us now. It's working like a charm. However, Donald Trump has several calls into President Xi of China, and President Xi is not calling him back, is not dignifying it with a response. And he said, I don't care what you do to your tariffs.
That's
China
125%
will go
of America.
broke before we do.
That's the only one that's not negotiating. All the other countries are.
Right.
Who they sell their
But do you think that makes
us?
Do you think that makes Trump look
No.
bad? That a president of a gigantic country is like, fuck you?
Makes him look superstar.
Makes him look strong.
What?
Okay. Interesting. All right, let's move on. Second topic, the Mar-a-Lago cost. Since his inauguration on January 20th, 2025, Trump has spent nearly every weekend in Florida, making 10 trips there, with 8 of those visits to Mar-a-Lago and most of them to play golf. The cumulative cost of Trump's golf-related travel is estimated at approximately $30 million in taxpayer money, and the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office incurs about $240,000 per day in additional security costs when Trump is in town. Mom, why is he going to Florida so much?
That's his home. That's where he lives. What do you want him to do? Drive his car there and have somebody take shots at him?
No, I want him to live in D.C.
His home, though,
he's the
is
president.
down there with family, too. So he has to go back and forth. Every president has always done this.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. Biden, I think, spent like 40% of his time roughly away from D.C.
And even though it's
I also
like,
think
what
that
did
was
you say,
bad.
30 million
So why are we, if that's the case, if they all do it and Biden was the biggest offender of all,
Trump is the biggest offender
why
of all.
are we talking about Donald Trump and his $200,000?
Because he's always
$200,000,
disengaged.
$30 million.
He's spending taxpayers' money. He is ripping us off. He is disengaged. He
And
doesn't
they
give a
all-
shit about
and
the
then-
American public.
And Joe Biden never did that.
Why do you keep
Of course
bringing
he
up
did.
Joe Biden? He's gone. It's
Joe
over.
Biden is
Because
not the president.
You guys always want to compare to something. Well, let's compare to the previous.
You're the one comparing.
I'm literally not comparing it to
Well,
anything.
that's
I don't
bullshit.
like Joe Biden. I have said that a million times on this very
Why
podcast.
does it matter what he spends then? It's less than Biden did.
All right, fine. Let's
move on.
All right, our next topic is Kilmar Abrigo Garcia is ordered back to the United States of America. This week, the case of Kilmar Abrigo Garcia, a Maryland resident mistakenly deported to El Salvador, has intensified. On April 4th, U.S. District Judge Paula Zinnes ordered the Trump administration to facilitate Abrigo Garcia's return to the United States. The Supreme Court then upheld this directive on April 10th, emphasizing that the government must take all available steps to correct the error. Judge Zinnes mandated daily updates from the administration starting April 12th, detailing Abrigo Garcia's current location and custody status, actions taken to facilitate his return, and planned steps and timelines for his repatriation. Speculation has arisen regarding Abrigo Garcia's well-being, with some fearing he may have been harmed or killed in custody. However, as of April 12th, the administration confirmed he is alive and detained. Failure to comply with the court's orders could result in legal consequences for the administration, including potential contempt of court rulings. Dad, you notoriously think this guy should die in that jail, should never get to come back to America. The Supreme Court has said he must come back.
Dad never said that about that
as your-
guy.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did last week.
thought we said that we thought he was a gang member, and that's
That's
what.
fine. He should stay where he is.
But he's-
Okay, the Supreme Court
Don't
said
care.
he has to come back.
Well, there you go. If he doesn't come back, they'll have to send out their little subpoenas or whatever they do.
If he's not,
So you think then that Trump and anybody in Trump's administration, I guess, should completely ignore the Supreme
Yes.
Court?
no. If he's not a gang member, he needs to come back. So if he's not,
Even if he is a
Everybody
gang
said
member,
he was.
which he's not, the Supreme Court has said you must bring him back, and we want daily briefings
Yeah, and if
on
you
what
don't,
you know about.
if you don't, what are they going to do to him?
The only thing that the judicial system really can use, I think, is U.S. Marshals. But you could have Trump or whoever they're going to hold accountable for this
right.
in the administration
Yeah.
arrested.
Well, let's wait and see what happens.
But do you think that's a good place to be,
Yeah.
Dad, in America, that the president or anybody can look at what the Supreme Court says and just say, nah, fuck it?
No,
Yeah.
he needs
When
to
they're
come
wrong.
back. If they said that, he needs to come
Problem is, people don't realize Supreme Court can be wrong.
Huh? They overturned Roe v. Wade.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
I know they
everyone
can be
understands
wrong.
they can
They
be
can
wrong.
be wrong.
Honestly, this is shocking to me. I really thought after Roe v. Wade, like we were fucked on all levels and that it would go Trump's way. So this was shocking to me. But I mean,
agree.
thank fucking God. Hopefully they find him and they bring him back.
Yeah. Do you think he's still alive?
I don't know because we haven't heard from him, seen photos. They haven't given
know.
us information.
What?
So like my gut instinct is that he's fucking dead.
Oh.
I think he is
He's
too.
Yeah.
alive. They said he's coming back.
No,
They said they didn't say he's coming back.
They've ordered for him to come back.
They said he's alive and in custody.
There you go.
Can you, whoever's like tapping on the microphone, can you guys stop
Oh,
doing
God.
I'm not tapping.
that? Just hold it.
I'm trying to keep Kitty from jumping off the.
What's that clicking on?
Huh?
I know.
I can hear it. Somebody's
No,
fucking with it.
no,
Is that
no,
you, Haley? Are you
here's what
fucking
I
with
have
me?
to do. I'm going to have to move all our contraptions back a bit so that I can feed Kitty ice while I'm talking.
I'm not touching it.
Okay.
It's my chair.
Mom, you
it's
think
my chair because I'm feeding Kitty ice.
Okay.
God.
You think he's still alive,
Yes,
Mom?
I do.
And what gives you that impression? Like Haley said, we haven't heard anything
someone
from him.
down there just because.
Because that's what they do.
Who does that?
That fucking prison. They're sending people to the worst.
Wait,
It's
wait,
like the
wait, wait.
fucking gulag.
You know what?
He's right.
That's funny. You and Haley said the same thing. That's what they do. You know what?
It is.
I read one comment one time and it said, Haley, you're not far from your dad at all. You two are very much alike. Okay.
Somehow the camera angle has gotten worse on you guys. Mom, half your face is cut off. Dad's slipping down to the bottom.
We got shit.
Jesus Christ. And now what? You dropped the microphone?
I didn't do it.
You broke the microphone?
There, it's going. Can you hear it?
I don't know. You got to check your settings.
No, just see if you can hear.
I'm in a mood.
I can, but that may be your onboard.
No, it's
whatever.
fine.
Who fucking cares?
God.
It's fine.
Hang on. I have to move this.
Oh.
Dad broke
Where's
it.
that little
He
stick?
broke it.
Give me that little black stick. Look at Chad.
It's literally unbelievable to me.
This
What?
is what it's like to have toddlers. This is what it's like when you
It
have
is.
like a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old.
No, this is what it's like
Yeah.
to Chad say, we're having a podcast. Set it up this way. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, gosh.
Don't touch
What?
that.
I
put
can
that
hear
down.
everything you're doing to that microphone.
I'm fixing it.
I need a snack. I gotta pee.
I have a dog that's going to jump off the couch. Okay, can you hear us?
Do you almost have it ready to go here? What's going
Damn.
on?
Okay, show Chad. Let me show
Just,
it.
no, just stop.
No, I don't need to see it.
There.
Just hold the fucking microphone and don't touch it.
It's going to fall again.
No, it's not.
My Lord. Go.
And we're back.
Oh my God. So the question is, what we're looking at here is the Supreme Court has made a ruling on this. The Trump administration is basically ignoring it, and you're okay with that.
No, I'm not.
There's
But-
something you forget every time we start these podcasts.
Don't you?
Trump is the law.
There,
right?
oh, there it is. That's all you got to remember.
Right, but he's not.
Well, hey,
There's something you forget.
When it comes to me,
Look, that's going to fall again.
he is.
That's going to fall again.
Okay, but you've said on this Dad, don't you even have a constitution, a copy of it?
Yes.
In the house.
You've said that you believe in the Constitution, right? That's a sacred document
I
to you.
do. The Supreme
Okay,
Court
well,
has
the
nothing to
Constitution
do with
outlines.
the Constitution.
Oh my God. The Constitution outlines 3 equal but separate branches of
Correct.
government: executive, legislative, and
Correct.
judicial. And they each check and balance
Correct.
each other. So the judicial is the Supreme Court. That's part of the judicial
now
branch.
the judicial includes all the little monkeys down line, and that's what
No,
Biden had
any
used
federal
for
court.
4 years. So don't give me
No.
that Supreme Court bullshit.
So you don't agree with the
I
Constitution?
don't agree with that Supreme Court right now. It used to be
Okay,
that way.
but do you agree with the idea?
You gonna let me finish? It used to be that
Sure.
way. When Biden became president, it no longer existed.
Okay.
What didn't?
The Supreme Court's jurisdiction over the rest of the country. Because the down hall courts, all the district judges and stuff have all been put in place by George Soros. And they contradict.
That's not true. Trump has put a bunch of them in place.
They contradict everything in the Constitution. Therefore, the legal judicial side of the equation no longer exists.
Okay.
What the hell? I can't follow anything you're saying. The math of this ain't mathing. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? What am I talking about? I'm talking about.
You said George Soros put all the federal judges in place?
Are you going to let me tell you, or are you going to talk?
Please tell me.
There are district court judges. There are appellate court judges.
Okay.
They've all been put in place to obstruct justice. The Supreme Court does not overrule them. They sit there and watch them interfere with everything Donald Trump's trying to do. And once again, who's the law?
The law.
Who's the law?
What?
Donald Trump.
In this case, the Supreme Court. You're talking about like lower courts?
Yes, they are.
And
they are corrupting the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Okay.
How? The Supreme Court has 3 justices on it appointed by Trump himself.
So what?
So how can it be
How's
corrupted?
3 out of 9 give you comfort?
They have a majority conservative
so what? No,
judge
that's
base.
not true. John Roberts is flip-flop fish. So don't give me... You stop with your damn Supreme Court stuff because, again, who's the law?
Okay. Moving on.
All right. Holy shit. Well, let's simmer down. I have an interesting simmer down question this week that I want to ask us all. I want you to answer it first, Dad, if you would.
What?
Are you ready? What do you think makes a good person?
Ooh.
How you treat... but first of all, how you treat animals.
He said,
Okay.
did he say one thing?
Is that it? I get one
No,
thing?
I said what? I said what do you think makes a good person? So your
how
first
you
component of a
treat
good person
animals is the first tip for me.
including eating them or no?
No.
How you
I'm talking about your pets.
Okay.
Things that live with
Why
you.
are you laughing, Haley?
Because I eat animals.
How you treat animals is the first thing. I eat them.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So can't really put a check mark
And
in
as
that
far
box
as
for you, but
people are
okay.
concerned, I would say in the world we live in, 90% of the people in the world we live in aren't worth the time of day, and 10% are how you treat that less 10% matters.
And who determines the 10%? Okay, so a good person in your mind is mean to 90% of the population, nice to 10%, a 10% that you select.
That's right.
Okay. Mom, what do you think makes a good person?
Loyalty. You have to be loyal. If you're not
Interesting.
loyal, you're not my friend.
At all costs.
At all.
No.
Even if you're loyal to somebody who is causing harm to people.
You have to be loyal to help them out or stop them, I guess.
Stop them.
How's that loyalty if
Loyalty.
you're stopping someone?
You tell them that's not right. Come on, don't do that.
Okay.
You have to be real.
So
you
loyalty
have to be
then,
honest
for
and
you?
loyal.
Real, honest, and loyal. Okay. Let me ask you both. Dad, we'll start with you. Do you think Donald Trump is a good person?
Oh God, here we go. See how you
Mom?
are baiting
Why are you
it.
asking
He
about Donald?
It's
baiting
not
it.
baiting. I'm curious because the
Hey,
definition, Mom, that you just
hold
said.
the phone. This was supposed
Okay.
to be a simmer down,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it
You
is
know
a
who
simmer
Dad
down.
is?
It's about
Trump has
ideology.
No place in this question.
This is true.
No, it
You know
does.
who Dad
It
is?
absolutely does.
Don't yell.
You know that SNL?
Because Mom said,
You know the SNL skit where Dana Carvey plays Ross Perot? Can I finish?
Yeah.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Yeah.
That's
Ross
Dad to me.
Perot was awesome, by
Can
the
I
way.
finish?
Loved Ross Perot.
Mom, the reason that it is germane to this is because you have described these qualities that you think exist in a good person. Dad, your definition is beyond me. I don't understand it. Mom,
Good.
you
If
said
you did, I'd be wrong.
somebody who is
if
loyal
if
and
you
somebody
ever
who is
understand
honest.
me, it'll be a miracle.
Okay.
I'm just curious how do you determine the
I'm
10% of people that you should be nice to?
Well, they're within my life.
Huh?
I don't give a shit about.
10% of the human populations in your life?
Well, the 10% that I care about, that I'm gonna.
Like 920 million people.
Goddamn, let me finish. Fuck it. I'm
Can I
not-
finish?
All right, sorry, go ahead. Hello?
Enough of this.
All right, now he's silent treating us. Mom, come back, please, Mom, so we can have this conversation. You keep disappearing every 5 seconds.
Well, we have a
Mom,
name: Kitty Cat, Sugar Bear, Honey Bunches, Cheerios. Now she's better. Okay.
okay, so you said a good person is defined by loyalty and honesty, right?
Yeah, and
Hello?
being there for your best friend. Yeah.
And being there for your best friend. So if we can just look at Trump for a minute, he has none of these characteristics. He is loyal to no one. He fires
According to
people
who?
constantly.
Yeah.
According to who?
We all see it happen.
He is.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God, he is loyal to the
Where's
United States
Vivek
of America.
Ramaswamy?
What's he
Remember
got to
him?
do? And what's
Don't
he
yell.
got? Why are you interjecting Donald Trump in our simmer down?
Don't yell.
You're not
All
going to
right.
get a simmer
Fine,
down.
we
now.
won't. We won't. I'm so sorry. Okay,
Forget
my
it.
apologies. Haley, what do you think makes a good person?
Empathy. Being able to
Oh,
understand like where people come from, helping when help
Being
is
empathetic.
needed. Being empathetic is part of the human condition. I think it's one of the most important qualities to have, because without it, you, for instance, you're okay with children dying in Gaza. I'm not. I am empathetic to mothers and children going through war. I feel like it's one of the most important qualities that makes us good people, to understand others even when you're not in that position. It's why we protest. It's why I do what I do, because I am empathetic to those people and their situation. So I think that's a huge factor for me. It's why I'm a vegan, empathetic to animals' pain and suffering. So I think that's probably the number one characteristic for me to describe what makes a good person.
I agree with you. Empathy and curiosity for me are the primary qualities most good people have. What's that, Mom?
Eat meat. We're not good people.
Mom, I can barely hear you.
Yeah, our microphone is way down. Since Dad and I eat meat, we're not good people.
You're good people in a lot
I
of
didn't
ways.
say if you're good or not.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I
was just curious how. Sorry, go ahead, Haley.
I would encourage you to not eat meat because you love animals so much.
Okay.
I was just curious how you guys define good people, and if that ever comes into your kind of political ideology. But I think it doesn't. I think, Dad, maybe it does. Mom, I think you have a definition of what a good person is. That's kind of a more common, reasonable definition. But somehow you're able to put that wall up when it comes to politics and just not let that in. Let's move on. Our fourth topic is the authoritarian executive order. This week, Trump signed executive orders directing the Department of Justice to investigate 2 former officials from his first administration. There's that loyalty you're talking about. Miles Taylor and Christopher Krebs. Taylor was the former chief of staff at the Department of Homeland Security. In 2018, he anonymously authored a New York Times op-ed titled "I Am Part of the Resistance Inside the Trump Administration," and later wrote the book A Warning, both critical of Trump's leadership. Krebs was the former director of the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. He was dismissed by Trump in November 2020 after publicly affirming the security and integrity of the 2020 presidential election, contradicting Trump's claims of widespread voter fraud. Trump's executive order instructed the DOJ to investigate Taylor and Krebs for potential unauthorized disclosure of classified information. He called Taylor's actions treasonous and criticized Krebs for disputing his claim about the 2020 election, referring to him as a wise guy and a disgrace. Mom, should a president be able to aim the Department of Justice, weaponize it, if you will, at whoever he wants? Political opponents, U.S. citizens.
If they have done treason, yes. There should be more he should be able to call in.
They haven't done treason.
They need to investigate. They need to investigate. He has every right to do that. I do believe.
They didn't do
Where'd
anything.
Dad go?
How do you know?
Now
Let
Dad's
them
gone?
investigate
Wait, hang on a
and
minute. Where the
find
fuck
out.
is Dad?
Let them investigate and find out.
Where is Dad?
Where do you think?
I don't know.
He took his toddler pee-pee break.
I'm begging you. Both of you,
He's
can
in
you
the
pee
bathroom.
before the show? What? Like, can you just do this before the show? Like, it's a significant
did.
sign of disrespect.
Okay.
I don't know if that matters to
you
him.
want him to sit here and pee his pants? That would be more respectful.
No, I want him to
you?
pee before the show. Like I do for you.
Sometimes
I
he
pee
has
right
to
before we
pee.
start the show.
Okay, we're 45 minutes in. He had to pee. We're old. Old people pee a lot. With diabetes.
I
There you
understand.
go.
Great. Dad,
We're
did you
not
pee
young
before the show?
like you, Chad. He's back.
You're almost 50,
Dad-
by the way.
Yeah, I know. Dad, did you pee before the show?
No,
Hello?
he did not.
Okay, thank you. I'm asking you as a favor to me.
Is this you?
This is a show that I put a lot of work into this show.
We know
And
that.
all I'm asking
Damn it. If we
is that
wanna
you would
pee,
sit
we
here,
pee. What do you want us to do?
pee before the show.
Well,
He
if I don't have to, I can't.
I did.
All
It
right.
comes when I have to go when I have to go.
Look at
This is Chad
All
as a parent. This is you as a parent. Pee before the car. That's what it is.
I will never be a parent.
That is you
I'm
as
getting
a
a taste
parent.
of it right
You
now.
are.
This show is as close as I'll ever get to being a parent.
that you will never
What's
be
that?
a parent. That breaks my heart, and you know that.
What? I got kids.
Why?
What?
Why?
Yeah,
Dad?
you got
Why?
grandkids.
Talking to Chad.
Why?
You pipe down,
Mom, your
Missy.
voice is breaking up. I don't know where the microphone is, but it's hard to hear
You
you.
have grandkids, though.
Why, Chad? Why don't you want to have babies?
That sounds so much better.
Really?
Why don't I want to
Mhm.
have kids?
Yeah.
Because I don't like them.
So you don't like your
right.
nephew and nieces?
Yeah, they're great. They're not my children. I don't want to raise children. I don't want to be responsible for children.
You wouldn't have
Why?
to.
I mean,
What?
I'm almost 50 years old. I think the ship has sailed.
Selfish.
Okay, Dad, you now need the microphone.
So you're
If you're going
basically
to speak.
selfish.
This is absurd. Can you just... Yes, I'm completely selfish. Can you just put the microphone between you somehow?
Yeah, I'll hold
We
it.
have a broken stand.
I'll hold it. There, is that better?
Yeah.
Our stand is
Can you
Okay,
see the
let's move on.
microphone in the
People-
picture?
I think people think we staged
it
this.
doesn't-
We don't. We will be.
No, it's clearly not staged. My question was, these two guys, Trump has issued an executive order demanding that the Department of Justice start investigating these two
Yeah,
guys that used to
I know
work
the
for him in his
question.
first term.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're for it.
Yes. They're treasonous. They need to go to prison.
More of it.
Okay. What if Donald Trump issues an executive order to investigate everybody who does a YouTube show that is against Trump?
Ooh,
Would you be okay with them coming after me and
I
Haley?
love it.
No, that'd be terrible.
Okay.
That's why I want you not to be on that side. I want you to be on our side.
I mean, they're doing it right now on college campuses. Anyone who was part of a protest that was,
Yeah. You're revoked.
anyone that was part of a Palestinian protest,
You're revoked.
they're going after them. And they are literally, there were, I think
Yeah.
they said almost 40 students here, UNT and TWU, that they are revoking visas. They are not allowed to re-up, and they are going to kick them out of the fucking country. These are students here
Damn
legally.
straight.
So are you afraid, Haley, of all the stuff you do? Would you not be afraid?
Fuck it, I guess.
No, you're not understanding, Mom. You shouldn't have to be afraid in America. It's freedom of speech,
Correct.
the First Amendment. Dad, you're constantly talking about that on this very
But
show.
it was okay for Joe Biden's administration to do it for 4 years.
Do what?
Exactly what you're talking about.
Not have freedom.
Who did
Using
they
the
investigate?
DOJ and everybody else to go after people who didn't agree with them. He did that. Don't sit
Like
here.
who?
Don't sit
Who?
here with those eyebrows
Who?
and give me that crap.
Who did he go
Okay.
after? Who did he go after?
Everybody that was on our side.
Give me a name.
Well, let
He
me-
went after Donald Trump, went
Well,
to Mar-a-Lago, went
first
through
of
her
all-
underwear
That's right.
drawer.
No,
For
because-
committing
and-
crimes.
the guy-
Donald Trump was
the guy-
convicted of 34 felonies.
The guy that was just on Peter Navarro.
Okay.
Who was the
Donald
general?
Trump.
Who was the general that got taken down the toilet?
I don't know.
God damn it, Flynn.
This is all the beginning of silencing the freedom of
Yeah,
speech.
and
making
it was all
people
started
afraid.
by Barack
Obama.
fucking Obama.
Way back then.
Okay. You guys are doing this same argument tactic again, where we're talking about
Yeah,
what
we're
Trump's
doing the
doing,
same
and then you
argument.
go, "What about Biden? What about
You
Obama?"
used-
We're not talking
Well,
about them.
What about it bringing old Donald Trump into our simmer down?
Okay.
That's
So
all
do you
you
believe
ever
in-
do.
So
That's
this
all
is
you
different,
ever
Dad.
do.
Okay.
Do you
That's all
believe
you
in
ever
freedom of
do.
speech?
Quit.
Do you believe in freedom of speech?
Yes, and we didn't have it for 4 years. Now we're not gonna have it for another year and a half, and then we'll have it back.
Okay. Move on.
Why?
What's going to happen
What?
in the year and a
In
half?
the next year and a half, you're gonna go by the law. And who's the law?
Is this like your weird
The-
dictator for a day, and then we're gonna go back to normal? Is that what this is?
Yes.
Have you not
Okay.
heard? I mean, I've seen it all over TikTok. I'm not sure.
You'll
They're
see.
saying that he's going to declare martial law on
I
all
hope
of this
so.
on
You
April,
hope
Yeah,
so.
you sent me some weird video.
April 21st.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We have two more topics. The next topic is Happy Birthday, Mr. President. Trump is reportedly planning a large-scale military parade in Washington, D.C. for his birthday on June 14th. The proposed event would feature a procession starting at the Pentagon in Arlington and proceeding through the Capitol to the White House, showcasing soldiers from all branches of the military, as well as tanks, aircraft, and missiles. The estimated cost of the parade is approximately $92 million.
Jesus.
He tried to do this in 2018, but the proposal was canceled due to high costs and logistical concerns. Dad, do you think most Americans want to see Trump do this parade?
Sure.
No. As seen by
The stock market is tanking.
Yeah, as seen by all of the
The-
protests that are being organized on fucking large scales all around the country, the answer is no.
Yeah, the reason you say that is because it's the protests, which don't amount to 20% of the fucking population. So blow it.
I'm not talking about the protests or anything like that. I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm not
do you
talking
think?
to you, Chad. I was talking to Haley.
Oh,
Nobody
Okay.
Nobody-
I'm talking to all of you.
all of those people that are protesting don't want this. 50% of the country does not want this.
No, the protesters.
Mom and
don't
Dad,
want
do
it.
you want this? Do you want him to spend $90 million of taxpayer money for
Why
this?
not?
Because $90 million could go anywhere else.
Sure. But it's just a drop in the bucket compared to the 350 billion we're sending the fucking
Ukraine.
Ukrainians to do nothing.
What does that have to do
Okay,
with this?
I will say
What does
90
that have
million
to
is
do with
quite
this
a
at all?
big amount
Well,
of money.
$92 million is a spot in the bucket, and I want him to have his parade.
I don't want him to have it for 90 million. That's
There you go.
ridiculous. That's way too much money. There you go.
Okay. Interesting. Do you think it
It's
would
worth-
send the
it's
wrong
worth-
message?
It's worth the message he sends to China when they see all of our shit.
That's probably what he's trying to
But,
do.
like-
That's what China does
What-
It's advertisement.
You know, right?
for the military.
You know, right now there are a bunch of people who voted for him whose 401ks are getting erased, who are getting
What do you
hammered
mean
with these
erased?
tariffs. They're small
It's
businesses.
coming back. The
Shit.
tariffs are
Hang-
working,
okay.
Chad. It is working.
If I can
It's
just
down maybe.
if I can just
What
say
did it
this.
go down 8%?
Did you know
That's
diesel?
If I can-
Hey, it has to go to 0. It has to go down 100% before it's erased.
My friend.
It's gone down about 8%
Okay.
since he started his tariffs.
Okay, we can't see
So
your head.
it's bull.
Get back.
Okay.
It's bullshit.
Diesel today was 2. What did Joel say? 2.
You don't even know your economic facts. So talking
Or
to you
no,
about
220.
economics, I might as well beat my fucking head on the wall over here.
Who's fucking with the microphone?
Yeah. Who
I'm
do you think?
holding it.
Okay. This is what I'm saying. There are a bunch of people who voted for Trump who are now having second thoughts about it because of what is happening to them financially. Do you think those people, there's a bunch of people who have already kind of changed their minds, like, oh shit, we made a mistake. There's a bunch more people who are teetering on the edge, having a hard time paying their bills because of everything he's doing. Do you think when those people see a $90 million military parade for his birthday, they're going to be like, yes, I voted for this?
I did. I think it sends a strong message to China. Look at what we're doing. We're building the military. We're coming after you fucking asses.
How does a parade send that message?
They'll see
They'll
all
be military.
They'll see the planes, the tanks,
It'll be patriotic.
the support for our military.
It'll be patriotic.
China is literally flying spy balloons over our country constantly. They know exactly how big our military is.
Now.
The parade isn't going to scare them.
During the Biden administration.
It's just peacocking. He's just, look how great I
course.
am. Look how it's all about ego.
It's what Kim Jong-un does. It's what dictators do.
Okay, fine. Move on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Our final topic is Trump versus science. This week, Trump froze and cut federal funding to several universities. The administration froze over $1 billion in federal funding to Cornell University and $790 million to Northwestern University amid ongoing civil rights investigations. Amidst ongoing civil rights investigations related to alleged anti-Semitic discrimination on their campuses, and Trump revoked almost...
I'm sorry.
Why do you do
Go.
it? Why do you do
He
that?
does it.
You both do it.
I told him to let
Mom, sometimes you get up in the middle of these things. I'm trying to read the news piece that we then talk about. Are you watching TV now, Dad?
Yeah, it's a big black screen. But you can see it in my glasses, right?
God. The long and short of it is, Trump revoked billions of dollars from these universities. $4 million of it was going to be federal funding from Princeton to their climate research programs. And he cited climate anxiety being created by their work as the reason they're going to withhold this money. This is all in addition to $9 billion Trump is threatening to withhold from Harvard. In response to these funding cuts, Harvard University professors, supported by the American Association of University Professors, filed a lawsuit in a Boston federal court against the Trump administration. The lawsuit argues that these measures infringe on academic freedom and First Amendment rights, accusing the government of using funding to impose political views and undermine free expression. Dad. Oh, Mom's gone again. Dad, should climate science be funded?
No.
Why?
Because it doesn't exist.
The climate doesn't exist?
Climate changes that everybody talks about do not exist.
Okay.
Wasting
Do you believe
money
there are...
on whether we're going to be a half a degree warmer in Dallas, Texas than we were 10 years ago means absolutely nothing.
Okay, so
and
do
then,
you
by
think
the way, the only thing that controls climate in this world is China and India because they're burning coal like a motherfucker.
Okay.
We
So
don't
do
have
you
anything
think
to do
then-
with climate in the United States.
Okay.
Okay. So do you think then that the entirety of climatological science, every scientist investigating this stuff, spending their lives, dedicating themselves to this field of study, that it's all for
Waste
nothing?
of
It's
time.
all irrelevant. Do you believe there are any other scientific fields like that?
Not really. I
Mainly
think
that
the climate
Okay.
argument is so old and so archaic, and the people who are for it, there's just as many scientists who are against it. And it doesn't
wrong.
mean anything. And when you take 360 million people in the United States of America who run the cleanest energy complex in the world, stacked up against billions of people in China and India who are building coal plants like it's going out of style, we have zero to do with climate change. Therefore, spending money in our universities that should be doing something for the United States of America instead of the world, we ought to cut their asses off. Any money going to any research for climate change in any American university should be cut off at the knees. Zero.
Okay. Mom, do you feel the same way?
I don't
Mom?
believe in climate change just because your dad's jobs in oil and gas. We don't believe in that. We never have, never will. I believe
And so you think
in what's the word, like cyclical, like it cycles, or weather cycles and cycles. I believe in that, but I don't believe in climate change.
And so you think these thousands of scientists globally who all agree to 99%
Oh, that's not true.
agreement
Okay,
with everyone?
don't argue. It's not that high of a percentage, Chad. I do not believe.
Oh, here you go.
There are
Google it.
people who dedicate
I'm
their
gonna Google it.
entire lives to this
Yeah.
science.
Waste
Their
of
entire
fucking
lives.
They may not be right. huh?
Waste of time.
Researching this one thing that
Yeah.
you've never researched a day in your life, but
That's
somehow
right.
you think
Yeah.
you're right.
That's
The
how
problem-
Dad's
the problem-
job for
the-
40
the problem-
years was, but
The
that's
problem
okay.
is I know more about what natural gas and
Okay.
sequestration and all that with
Don't
coal
start.
mines
Don't start.
in the energy field. I know more about it than most of these climatologists.
We don't believe in climate change.
Oh.
All right.
How many, Chad?
The scientific
Cut and dry.
consensus is that climate
Go ahead.
The scientific consensus is that climate change is happening, and it's primarily caused by human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels. A vast majority
Which
of
we
climate
know.
scientists, 97 to 99.9%, agree that human-induced greenhouse gas emissions are the main driver of the current warming
Who
trend.
said
Yeah.
that, though? What science?
That was in Science
a
magazine.
Science
Science magazine.
Okay.
Here it is in the Cornell Chronicle. Here it is in Forbes.
Okay. I just don't think the percentage is that high.
NASA.
Sending
I'm reading it.
You
What do you
said in
mean?
a
Sending-
science magazine.
Just because you're reading in the magazine.
No,
doesn't
I've
make
given
it a
you
fact.
10 different sources. Okay.
Maybe not.
So they also are defunding universities who they say have anti-Semitic
Yes,
protests
that's
going
good.
on. These are
which
just
is
universities
not, that's
that have
inaccurate though. It's not
correct. That is a
anti-Semitic
lie.
at
I
all.
think if you even smell that way, you get cut.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this then: should all universities lose government funding?
Yes.
Dad.
Not just
That what?
the Ivy League schools, but all of them. If they are supporting climate research and they're supporting anti-Semitic activities, they
Nobody's
should lose their
doing that.
money.
Nobody's doing that.
But
the
right.
point of
Nobody
university
is supporting
the
anti-Semitic.
point of going to university is to fucking further education. That is where we research. That is where you have discoveries. To
Ooh.
defund all of this shit means, guess what? Never going to cure cancer. Fuck AIDS. Fuck the climate.
Nobody said
That's what
about
you
that.
do at university.
They're not
Nobody
taking money
said
away
anything.
from that.
Take it away from that. Take it away from the
They
university.
are definitely taking money away
Well,
from
yeah,
that research
because they're going
in
to lose.
universities.
Yeah.
They're going to lose their fucking funding if they keep doing the two bad things. They need to quit doing those, and they'll get their money.
Okay.
Nobody's
You know,
doing
by
it.
two
the
bad
way, by the
things.
way,
What you're
Haley,
saying-
Harvard University doesn't need any endowment from the government.
Hang on a minute. Hang
Why?
on. You're
They're
saying if they
richer
do the
than
bad
the government
things,
gives them.
you're saying if they do the bad things, those bad things are determined by Trump.
Yeah.
So it's anything he says
That's
is
right.
bad is bad. So let's
Why,
say, okay,
why
hang
is
on.
that now?
Hang on.
Let-
This is the question. Then I ask it, then you answer. Okay? You ready? Trump now is in a position to determine what universities can and cannot research, talk about, protest, etc. So let's say he cuts all the funding from what you perceive to be anti-Semitic protests and climate change. What's next?
Women.
He doesn't stop there.
Women's
What does he
studies.
come for
How
after
do you
that?
know he
Women's
doesn't
studies is
stop
probably
there?
next.
Because it never fucking stops.
How do you
He's an
know?
authoritarian.
He hadn't done this before.
This is what authoritarians
First of
do.
all,
He is doing
You
it.
are 100% speculation. You don't know what he's going to do. And Haley, you don't know what he's going to do because this is the first time he's done it.
He's
And by
already
the
done
way,
it. Roe v. Wade is gone.
he didn't do that.
He did that.
No, he didn't do that.
Yes, he did. He
He
did
took
that.
credit for it.
Well, he didn't do it.
He took credit
It's
for
all
it.
right. He can take credit for whatever he wants because he's the
President.
He's not the law.
Orange.
he's the law.
He's the president. Go on. Go on.
Well, that was the last
Good.
topic.
Thank God.
God.
Why are you guys getting so pissed about this?
I'm not pissed. I'm tired.
You don't
Okay.
don't run a fair platform. What are you
I
looking
don't run
funny
YouTube.
about? You're 100% left wing, out your ass, communistic, and you won't let anybody talk on the other side of the coin.
Did I ask you not to call him a communist?
You guys-
You know what? That gets us in
you-
trouble. So stop it. God.
You guys talk on this podcast more than either Haley or I
No,
do.
we don't.
And that's why you make the big bucks. Okay.
The big bucks. You know how much money this podcast has made up to
we
this
don't
point?
$5.
Negative $750.
Money. Stop it.
I have paid about $750 over the past 2 years to host this podcast. How many man hours I put into it, I can't even calculate at
Me
this
either.
point. So there ain't no big bucks, but I just want to address what you're saying, Dad, that we don't give anybody a chance to talk. That's literally what this podcast is it's us trying to both talk about our positions, see where the other side is
Yeah, but
coming
you're
from,
just
and
the
see if
same
there's...
old whiny crap every damn week.
I still would like.
I'm the same old whiny crap
Yeah,
every week.
I would like to do one that's not
Mine's
politics.
completely different this week.
I would like to do one that's not politics. Like really,
No, it's
if we could do one that's not politics and just talk to each other, I would like that.
Yeah.
Because all this is bickering and fighting, and I'm getting sick of it. You might have to talk me off the ledge again.
Talking off the ledge, what do you mean? You're going to quit the
I
show?
don't like fighting all the time with you guys.
Yeah.
We don't
All
do,
right.
and everybody
Well, we'll see
thinks
what
we do
happens.
that all the time. We don't.
I love everybody.
We don't what?
It's not your turn yet.
Oh.
God damn it.
All right, I think that is time to wrap this show up. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Before we go, as always, despite our political differences and being called a communist, etc., even though, Mom, you eat animals, I do love you. Even though, Dad, you do eat animals, I love you
And then
too.
Paige-
And Haley, happy birthday. I love you also.
Thanks. Mom, Dad, love you. Chad, love you.
Oh, my turn.
I don't eat animals or animal products.
I eat animals. I don't eat kitty cat, sugar bear, or Max. I love you, Chad. I love you, Haley. I love you, Bob. I have one shout out. I have a shout out to Miss Summer in Oklahoma City. And after she now has become a viewer, I hope she will still allow me to hang out with her daughter. Because if it wasn't for that daughter, Miss Jules, and hey, Big A, I would not be riding a horse today. Jules helps me so much. I appreciate it. Shout out to them in Oklahoma City. Shout out to her dad, who just had a medical procedure and now he's better. If any of our listeners would like to have a shout out, Chad has an idea. I had an idea. He said maybe.
Huh.
You send $100.
I said we are not doing that. This was
Shout out for you.
This was your idea. You were like, maybe we can get $10 for people giving shout outs or whatever. I'm like, what are they going to do? Send it in the mail? There's no way to collect this money. And no, we're not doing that.
Do you watch Love on the
yeah.
Spectrum?
No.
Yeah, I watched the whole season.
There's a new cast member, like on the newest season, and she mentioned The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Oh, yes.
Like, huge fan.
That was my scream from the pit.
Yeah.
She also talked to the most recent
I
Bachelorette.
really-
She made a Instagram
I really
reel.
think we should do shout outs. We're going to figure that out.
Can I
Shout
get
outs.
my-
All right, we'll
Because
figure
you
out
know
shout
what?
outs.
You know
Do
what?
I get to say my
In a
love,
minute.
everybody?
In a minute. You know what? I did a shout out early on. It was like maybe episode 4 or 5. Someone got me through Instagram and said it was a relative of theirs. These were people in Germany. And would I do a shout out? And I did. And that was a long time ago. And they loved it. And I got to thank you.
Great.
We need to do shout outs.
Cool.
Jules.
All right,
All right, we'll look
I
into
love
shout-outs.
everybody.
Summer.
And I eat.
Granny. I'm sorry. Oh, he's pissed. Go ahead.
I know.
Go.
No point.
Go. It's your turn.
I'm done.
We could talk together.
I already said it.
I didn't hear it.
No, it's too bad. You were running your mouth.
Oh, nice. Nice. Say it.
I did.
I didn't hear it.
I don't have to do it twice.
We will see you next week.